And I'm like, how can I do it? I'm already doing two things. How can I do a third thing?
Is it even a real career in the
Yeah.
first place? How do you maintain your sanity?
Instagram is one thing and personal life is one thing. I think I like to keep them separate. You are working 24/7. Everything is content.
If someone is building a wardrobe up from scratch, what are the essentials?
My parents are going to judge, so
Watch it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Rising Immigrant Show. At this show, my goal is to introduce you to people and ideas so that you can live your best life. We're going to talk about a variety of topics on this show, including starting a new business, doing well at your workplace, raising cross-cultural kids, and also fashion. So today's episode is a very special episode for me because I'm interviewing my sister, Bhavdeep Kaur. Although this is going to be a slightly different interview from what we've done in the past, but this was very requested by my friends. So here we are. Bhavdeep is a fashion content creator. She is also the founder and chief executive of Youngberry, her fashion clothing line. So allow me to welcome Bhavdeep Kaur. Bhavdeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we've been meaning to do this since a while now, but Bhavdeep lives in India and I live here in the States, so it's always hard for us to coordinate. But this time around, she came in for like a couple of weeks and it was just, both of us. So we thought, why not talk about her journey and then tackle the most common fashion questions me and my friends have. So I'm going to start from the very beginning, Bhavdeep. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what were you like as a kid?
So, as a kid, I was very contrary to what I am now and who I am now. I was a very introvert child. I would not go out a lot alone. I would always tag you along to my friends' birthdays and parties as well. So, I was a very introvert child, and somehow I would like to say that I always had this love for fashion since childhood, and it just, it just came out when I passed out school and yeah.
So at what point or how old were you, I should say, when you started to express it? I know early on, you were interested in it and you would read Vogue magazines inside your books, but at what age did you start expressing it?
I think very early on because I remember we used to go shopping and mom used to take both of us and she would pick something for you and you would happily be like, okay, I'm going to wear this.
Yeah.
But I would be like, I would have a grumpy face and I would be like, no, I want that or I want that and I want to wear this with that. So I think it started really early on and I knew what I wanted and I knew how I wanted to wear it and I would always love to experiment. Even with mom's saris, like all the girls do, like, I would keep draping them in different ways or I would keep stealing your clothes for that matter. And, I think it started really early on, I would say.
I think we're still known. Mom always says Jasmine's the easy one when it comes to fashion.
Yeah.
You give her whatever you think is right for her and she'll wear it.
Yeah.
But for you, I mean, there's this whole process which goes behind the scene and to decide your outfit. So, Bhavdeep, tell me, at what age did you start Youngberry and how did that idea come to life?
I started when I was 18 and I didn't start with a motive of like launching a business or, that, okay, like this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. It was my 18th birthday and I was looking for a nice dress to wear because, 18th birthday is special and I wanted to look really nice and I wanted to dress really nice, but I couldn't find anything in the market. And we tried quite a few stores and I was just not finding the dress, I always want the perfect fit for the event. So my mom was like, if you want something, why don't you try getting it made? And I was like, oh, is that even an option? Because back then people would not get Western wear stitched.
Right.
So it was always suits and everything that people would go and get stitched. So she went with me. We picked up a really nice stretchable fabric, and we picked up a random tailor. We asked him if he could do this dress. I sketched it out quickly for him, and I gave my measurements, and it turned out beautiful. And I wore that dress for my 18th birthday. All my friends were like, oh my God, where's that dress from? We also want the same and everything. And I was so reluctant to tell them that, okay, I got it stitched, because, like, it's not ideal. Either you'll say, okay, it's from this brand or that brand.
Right.
And, for an 18-year-old, you always want to make that impression in front of your friends that, okay, I bought this dress or that dress. I was very reluctant, but they were really pushy. And then I told them, and oh my God, there was no looking back. I got orders for that dress, and I got it made for my friends. I got orders for the same dress from my relatives, and there was just no going back from there.
Got it. So when you first started making dresses for your friends and family members, so what was the setup like? Are you operating out of home? Do you go out there, set up a store? Are you selling online? How did you start this business?
So initially it was all from home. Like, it was from my bedroom. I did not have any physical setup for a studio, like not even a hanger or not even a rod to hang the clothes on. So I started with just, you get those hooks on Amazon. We got a long hook which had like 4 to 5 sections, and you could hang.
I actually remember that.
Yeah, it was a long one. So I just hung it in, like, we put it in one corner of my room. And I hung like 3 to 4 dresses on it. And so it was basically no setup at all. And my tailor used to make and stitch all of this at his place. Like, he had a machine. So initially it was just him doing it at his place. And then eventually, we gave him a small room in our garage, and we gave him a small, like, setup, a table and everything, and we set up one machine, and slowly he started stitching there.
So did you buy that machine, or
yes, we did.
You bought that first machine?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you're 19 at this age?
Probably still 18.
18. So what were you doing outside of this? Like, you're at school, you started college, what's going on?
I started college, and it was my first year of college. So that is always really important as well, because, my teachers would be like, okay, you need this kind of attendance to be there. But then I had started this business alongside. So to balance that was also a thing that I had to manage.
So what did you go to school for? What did you study?
I studied commerce. And it was a 3 years degree. I did bachelor's in commerce, and alongside I kept doing this.
So how did you structure your day? At what time of the day would you invest in the business, and what were your timings at your school?
So my college was there till 1:30. So I would go around, like, say 9, and I would be free by 1:30. On my way back, I would source fabrics for my orders and everything. Fabrics, borders, like needles, like whatever raw material we would need. And I would start my studio at 3 p.m.
Okay.
So my timing was 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for quite a few years, like, because I did my master's also. So I would only attend clients in that time slot.
Got it. So do you think these two aspects of your life, you studied business in your undergraduate school, and then you went on to do masters in English literature.
Yeah.
How do you think your course of study helped you with your business, or vice versa?
So I think business studies always helps, because, you get to know basic things like, what should be the name of your brand, how attractive or easy to pronounce, or, catchy it can be, to packaging, to boxing, to marketing. You learn a lot when you're studying commerce and business studies. So I think I picked up quite a few things from there, and to maintain accounts and all of that, you learn from there. Sure. So it was for sure helpful. As far as my master's is concerned, that was just for fun, like I did it because I really enjoyed literature and enjoyed English language. So I thought, I don't want to pursue my master's in the same like commerce background. I wanted to do something different, so I opted for English literature.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then at what point did you decide that this business was for you to go all in? So you're doing it sideways, right? You're opening your studio at 3 every day.
Yeah.
When do you start deciding like, hey, this is my full-time gig?
Only after I completed my master's degree, because for my parents, my studies were the priority, and they didn't want me to compromise on that ever. And even when I had my exams, my mom wouldn't let me enter the studio, and she would be like, I'll manage, I'll see, don't worry about it. But before my exams, like say 10 days before my exams, I would stop going to the studio and I would just study. And after the exams, I would enter again, and I would catch up on what's going on. So I think only after I completed my master's, I started it full time.
Got it. And you said you started with making a few dresses. How did your business evolve over time, and how did you start making other different things?
So I started from Western wear because that's what I fancied, and I really liked designing as well. And back then there wasn't anybody who was doing custom Western wear outfits. So I think that was something really different, and for my business it was really good, and people were really excited because they could get the dresses customized.
Right.
So I started with Indian wear. We designed a few pieces. I would always design for myself, and somehow my clients really loved what I designed for myself more than anything else. So we started from there, and then we started putting exhibitions, and we started doing fashion shows and things like that, and that's where the brand picked up. We also made a Facebook account, and Facebook was really helpful at that time because we could just reach out to so many people sitting in a room, and like it was really nice how Facebook helped us gain so much.
And which year is this again?
This was 2011. We started in 2011.
So it's just social media is just picking up,
Right.
and also you're just launching this business, so probably it went hand in hand. I wasn't allowed to wear outfits that you were allowed to wear when you were the same age, right? Our parents were very conservative growing up. I was allowed to wear, like, unlike many of my other friends who wore suits primarily, I was okay to wear jeans and like tops and blouses and t-shirts and whatnot, but it wasn't okay for me to wear like a mini skirt. Right? How did that transition happen for you? Because as an older sister, I'm like, hey, it wasn't okay for me. Now she walks in, she starts this business, and suddenly everything's okay for her. What do you think brought about that change?
I think it's the time. Because, with time, parents also evolve, and their mind opens to all these ideas and everything, and it's not that big of a taboo to wear a mini skirt anymore, because we have an age gap of almost 4 years. So I think it's just time with time, and I'm the second child, so all the rules are for the first
they don't
child.
apply to you.
Second child is usually the rebellious one, and
I'm looking back, I'm like, hey, how did this happen? And also, I think the society was also going through a transformation with social media coming into picture. There's you're putting out yourself out there. There's a lot that wasn't done in the past, but slowly and suddenly the society was coming to accept it, and we were able to see what other people were doing outside of our immediate group. So that sort of opened us up as well. So how did you get into creating content for Instagram?
So I was already familiar with this blogging thing at that time. They used to call us or them bloggers, and people would create their own websites, and they used to write a lot, and they would attach like 4 to 5 pictures to it. So it was majorly writing about fashion and how you can style a certain piece, how you could wear it in different ways, and ideas and thoughts on fashion. So I used to read a lot of those blogs, and I used to go through a lot of those blogs, blogs, and there were quite a few influencers in India who were doing really, really well. The OGs, I might call them. And I also worked with them for Youngberry, and I got my collection promoted through them. And I would always think to myself that, we have to pay so much to these influencers. I wish I had like one of my friends as an influencer. That way, it would be such a win-win situation. And I would just keep pushing my friends to start influencing. I remember I still follow House of Misu. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So Mithali and Sumaya, like it says House of Misu, me for Mithali and Su for Sumaya. So one of my friend, her name is Zoya and my nickname is Bikku. So I used to tell them, we can be House of Bizo.
That's a fun name. You guys can still do it, by the way.
Yeah. So I would always be so inspired by them. And my friend is also really good in fashion and everything. And I would be like, we can start it together. Let's do it. Or I would keep pushing my friends to do it. And one day I was just sitting with mom and I was like, I wish she did it. I wish that friend did it. And she was like, why don't you do it? And I'm like, how can I do it? I already have a business. Right. I'm already going to college and, I'm already studying. I'm already doing 2 things. How can I do a 3rd thing? And she's like, why not? And I was like, correct. Like, I can. If I try, I might be able to. Like, what's the harm in trying or giving it a shot? So, in 2016, when I came to visit you in New York, that's when I got the confidence and the exposure, I think. And from a private account, I went public and I just randomly started posting. It wasn't an idea of, there was no strategy. There was nothing of that sort. I just randomly started posting my outfits and whatever I was wearing. And slowly, I think I started taking it seriously after a year or a year and a half. And that's when I started posting consistently. And, that's how,
So, I know mom was supportive, but dad has he had his doubts. I had my own doubts. I remember sitting together at the dinner table and saying, like, why do you think you're doing this? We're worried this is going to take you away from your business. You're slowly growing in your business. Do you think it's going to stop your growth there? Because we only have so much time, right, in our day. So how do you think it's going to help you or take you away? And at that point, I feel like we didn't have all the answers because I was so new. But when do you think that our dad or, the people around us, when did their perception change about your work?
So the perception changed with the very idea that my work was not, like this blogging thing or influencing thing was not taking me away from my work, but it was a good...
it was probably complementing
it was complementing my work. And I was initially just wearing my own label and just promoting that.
Got it.
So whatever I would wear, people would want to buy that. So it was helping my business. It still does.
Right.
Because people see it on someone, on a common person, and they know how it is going to look on a certain person. So they know how to style it. They get ideas. So I think that really helped my business instead. So I think that really played a very good role in it. Also, when, my mom saw that people were recognizing me and I was getting recognition, I was getting awards, I was getting invited to judge fashion shows, I was getting invited to all these really nice events, and especially the recent one where the CM of Punjab, Bhagwant Mann, invited us, and I was nominated in the best influencer, like fashion influencer from Punjab. I think, when things like this keep happening, your parents feel like, okay, she is doing something after all.
No, it's also different because there are those traditional careers that we've all seen play out for us, right? We know, hey, like if you're a doctor, you're going to make X amount of money. This is what your trajectory is going to look like. With a career so new, none of us really knew how that would grow or how would it change over time and would it really make money or not. So is it even a real career in the first place? So there were so many questions when we first started out very early around 2016, I remember. So there were a lot of ifs and also unknowns. But I think you've done incredibly well and we're all very, very proud of you. And one thing which I have in mind, and I know a lot of my friends wonder, is there a strategy to make this successful? Do you have a team? What goes on behind the scenes?
Yes, we have a team. I have a manager and she has an assistant. So that is my immediate team. And then we have a photographer, videographer. But they're like not fixed. They work as a freelancer. And, I have multiple people who I reach out to depending on which city I am in and however. But yeah, like there is a team that is involved because there's a lot that goes on behind the scene. You just see the reels that we put up, but there's a lot of, planning, execution, and, a lot that goes behind it.
So tell me your process. Let's say you're doing a transition reel where you're like dressing up with an Indian outfit, you're styling it. Like, tell me like how your day goes from the morning till like you finish your project.
So the day is one thing. We start planning way ahead.
Got it.
We have, for example, if it's a brand deal and it's not a piece of content that I'm doing it for myself. I call it candid content. So if it's a branded piece of content, firstly, the brand has their own mandates that they want you to follow. A certain kind of background, a certain kind of makeup, hair, jewelry, footwear, nails, like everything has to be decided by the brand, and the brand likes to be in charge of that because if they are investing so much in us and they want
just the overall look and feel to be cohesive with the brand's image.
They want it to all look nice and to be relevant to their brand and how they want it. So everything is pre-approved. Like we have to send everything for approval. For example, it's a transition video, like you mentioned. If I have to wear something for the first half of the video, it has to be approved by the brand if it's not from them. It doesn't have to take the attention away from the main outfit which has to be promoted. So we do all of that before, and then sometimes there's a script involved if there's a piece to the camera or a voiceover or even a long caption that has to be there. So everything has to be pre-approved by the brand. Once all of that is done, the day of the shoot is comparatively easy because everything is sorted and we know what we're doing. But even when we start shooting, we send them clips to check if everything is in place or if they want any changes because you don't want to reshoot. So, the day when we start shooting, it's all very quick and easy that way.
So things are planned for, and then that day, you're just sort of flowing.
Right.
So how do you personally select the brands that you partner with?
Brands would reach out to me or sometimes I would reach out to brands depending upon how much I really want to work with them or how much I really like the brand and the value that they bring to the market. So if they reach out to me, I see that does that brand resonate with me, my style, my audience? And if yes, then I go ahead with it. If not, then I might refuse to work.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very important, there's so much content, there's so much, stuff out there. It's hard for you to sort of decide what works for you and your audience versus picking and choosing anything that comes your way. Bhavdeep, tell us a little bit about the trends. There's so much content out there and the trends change so quickly.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with them?
I don't keep up with all the trends that are coming, firstly, but we have to somewhere keep in the loop because people look up to us to know and, to gain knowledge about what is going on in the market and what is trending. So, whatever the trend is, I would look at it. If I think it is my style or if I can, wear it and carry it and whatever, I would then go ahead with it. And I would always add my authentic style to it. Trend is something else and style is something else. So, I would always pick up the trend but wear it in my own way. So I think that just helps.
Got it. Now, there's so much noise outside, right? When you go to social media, there's like suddenly it's like inviting 100 people into your bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? You wake up, there's this influx of messages, there's likes, there's comments, there's reels that other people have posted. How do you shut that noise, or how do you maintain your sanity?
That is really important as an influencer, to maintain your sanity, because otherwise you'll be clinging to your phone 24/7, and that is not healthy for anybody. Even if it's my work, it is not good for me to use Instagram or any other social media platform that much. So when I wake up, I try not to look at my phone, and I would do my daily chores. Like I would brush my teeth, go down for breakfast, come up and, start getting ready. And that's when I would, open my phone or check my phone. After I'm like ready to leave the house, I would sit down, check my phone, check emails and WhatsApp first, and then go to Instagram.
Okay,
and
that's smart.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up and the first thing I do is I'll go to Instagram and check whatever's going out there, and I feel so overwhelmed. Suddenly I have this so many things going on in my mind. Like I have those what do we say, like trendy songs and
and then you keep singing that song the entire
all through the day. And I wanted to ask you, how do you really shut that noise?
I always like to meditate as soon as I'm up, and just before going to bed, even if it's for a few seconds or a minute or a few minutes. But I make it a point to do that because that just helps me a lot.
Got it. Now, Bhavdeep, you're connected to so many people online, right?
Yeah.
But in the world, when we're connected to so many people, we still end up feeling lonely. That is a common problem which our society is going through.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel lonely? And how do you maintain, a state of happiness or peace?
I love my Instagram family, and I have a lot of members in that family, but that is at the end of the day my work, and my personal life has my friends and my family. So I always make it a point to take out time for them, and I always love to spend some quality time for them, and I prioritize them over anything. So I think that never lets me feel lonely because I have my people with me. Because Instagram is one thing and personal life is one thing. I think I like to keep them separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for someone like you, it's really hard because you post so much content and we get glimpses of your life online. For someone like me who's a little private, it's easier for me to keep my private and, online life separate.
Yeah.
But for someone like you, I can imagine it's really hard to keep them both separate.
Yeah.
Is there anything you do particularly through the week or to invest in those relationships?
I do. So I have this weekend dedicated to family and friends only, and I would try not to keep any shoots on Sunday or Saturday like that. So I like to keep that day for my friends and family, and I would not touch my phone or anything. I don't even post on Sundays that much. So I've kept that Sunday off for myself, because being in this kind of business, there is no day off.
Right.
You are working 24/7. Everything is content. Everything going on.
Do you feel the pressure to constantly keep churning out content and talk to your audience?
Sometimes, yes, I won't lie. Because it might be exhausting, it gets exhausting sometimes, because you're like, okay, now I'm on this vacation and I want to enjoy my time with my family or friends, whoever I'm out with, but then your audience expects from you, they now we recently went to Aruba, and I've got so many DMs of people asking me, tell us about Aruba, how is it like, which hotel to book, how to go, which flight
they're
to book.
looking up to you to get some more information about the place, and also learning from from your experience. I guess the
Yes.
whole appeal about social media is relatability, right?
But sometimes I make peace with it because, you need time for yourself
Right.
as well at the end of the day. So there has to be a balance. Yeah.
Correct. So Bhavdeep, my friends shared a bunch of questions with me. They wanted me to ask you these styling advice and tips. So we're going to dedicate the last few minutes to asking her our most common fashion questions. We're not as stylish as you are, but now that you're here, I'm going to take use of that and go through a list of questions with you. So the first question I have here is how to style sleeveless clothes for heavy forearms.
Firstly, stop being conscious and love your body as in how it is. You can wear anything and everything, even if you have heavier forearms. Just be confident in whatever you're wearing and you'll be okay. But if you want a styling tip, you can just wear a broad sleeved, cut sleeve dress, top, whatever you're styling, which sits comfortably on your shoulder, which is not too tight on your shoulder. So like a broad sleeved, cut sleeve top would work, or a dress would work. And even off shoulders for that matter. Off shoulders look amazing on every body type, I feel. So like a nice off shoulder dress or something which has like not too long of sleeves, they look really nice. You can also go for sheer sleeves, like georgettes, chiffons and lace. They really look nice on heavier forearms.
Got it. My next question is it okay to style print on print?
Absolutely. You can definitely style
It's scary,
print on
though.
print. So the easiest way or the safest way to play it is either pick the same color scheme. For example, if I'm wearing a navy blue or a dark blue print in my pants, go for a blue top, like a blue printed top and a blue printed jacket or whatever you want.
The same shade or a different shade?
It could be similar.
Got it.
But if it's the same, it's amazing. Like you don't have to worry about, looking like a fashion disaster or something like
Can
that.
you say the same thing for stripes? If like I have a striped shirt and I have like maybe,
you can
vertical
definitely do
stripes
that.
on my pants.
So you can do like a pinstripe for your shirt and you can do thicker stripes for your pants, or you can do a mini polka dot shirt and you can do stripes for the pants. And if you're wearing floral prints, you don't even have to do the same color. You can do a lot of different floral prints, like a different floral print for the pant and a different floral print for the blouse. It looks really nice. So either mix it with the same pattern, print, or the same color palette, or the same geometric pattern. So like just have some similarity in
Got
them.
it.
And
So basically
you'll be good.
one common point and then you could sort of diverge from that.
right.
Got it. My next question is how to style flats with formals.
Flats go perfectly with formals. You can wear mules, you can wear loafers, you can wear pointed ballerinas, you can wear the Mary Janes, which are really popular these days, with the strap on top or without the strap. So I think flats go really well with formals.
So this question is really from me. I have an apple-shaped body and some of the other moms I know also have a similar body type.
Yeah.
What type of pants can we wear so it flatters our body type?
So apple shaped body type is something where there is not an accentuated waist. A very defined waistline is missing, and usually the bust is heavier, and so is the lower waist, and usually the legs are lean and the arms are lean. So what you want to do is you want to create a balance. So since we want a nice waist, accentuated waist, you can wear high-waisted pants and preferably a straight leg, boot cut, bell bottom.
Got it.
All of them work perfectly well for apple body shape. And wear a fitted top instead of like a loose top with it, because we're doing loose at the bottom, so we need something fitted on the top.
So some structure at top and then sort of go broader
so
or
that
wider
there's
at
this
the bottom.
good balance,
Got
like
it.
fitted on top and flared at the bottom. Don't wear flared at top and bottom, because that will you're
Disturb
all
the-
over the place.
Got
then.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone is building a wardrobe up from scratch, what are the essentials you can buy or carry, and how to style them up and down?
So this really depends on your lifestyle a lot. Like, what kind of events do you go to? What kind of outings are there? Like, do you go to pick up your kids from school, or do you go for luncheons? It totally depends on that. But if you have to keep a good balance, I think 3 pairs of jeans: a light blue denim, a dark blue denim, and a black denim. A black t-shirt, white t-shirt, they go with everything. You can style them up or down. A nice structured blazer. I really prefer black, white, and then I would go with a neutral tone, like probably beige or grey or navy. Totally depends on you. So one of those you can get, and get a hoodie for those grocery runs and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think 3 pairs of pants, like something like you are wearing, like a formal pant. Like probably off-white, white or off-white, black. And then again, whatever you prefer, like navy, grey, beige, tan, like whatever color you prefer the most.
So you said 3 pairs of denims, a black...
I'm still adding to the list.
Okay. I'm like taking mental notes here.
You can do a buttoned shirt, like a white shirt goes with everything.
I think that's a classic. Like,
that's a classic.
I have like 4 of them in my closet. I'll wear it with a denim or with shorts in the summer.
Right.
And if I want to go out for a formal lunch or dinner, I'll tuck it in a nice pant or a skirt, and then there you go.
Yeah, from beach to office, you can wear your shirt anywhere, and you can layer it up with things. So a shirt is really important, and I think you can invest in really nice cashmere sweaters or a really nice jumper for that matter. It could be a solid color, and one could be a striped one. Those are really timeless and classics. I think they never go out of trend. So whatever I've mentioned, I don't think you will have to reinvest in those pieces for years and years, because they just they go with everything and anything. And you can also get for the times you have to go out, just get a nice dress, like an evening dress, and a nice day dress, like a printed dress or a nice pastel summer dress.
Got it. My favorite is really, a nice pair of high-waisted jeans.
Yeah.
Okay. A white t-shirt.
Absolutely.
I have like 4 of them in my closet.
Yeah.
So easy to style them.
Yeah.
And then a blazer.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
If I have to go out for lunch or like, meet a client or anybody for that reason, that I feel is like so essential to keep in your wardrobe. And then if I really want to jazz it up, I'll wear a neck piece or like bold earrings to go with it, or if it's a low-key
switch your loafers with heels.
Exactly. I'll do like little pearls. So I think that works out really well. Thank you for your advice. That's really helpful. Now my next question is, do you have any shapewear recommendations?
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of shapewear out there in the market, and that you should invest in, because it just makes the dress more flattering.
Got it.
It's not about the body type or anything. It's just that, if you wear the right kind of shapewear, it just accentuates the whole waistline and everything, and it just looks even more flattering. So something which starts from just under the bust and it has shorts attached to it, something of that sort would work really well for satin dresses and, your evening dresses and everything. And you can also go for something which is just from the waist and is like a bodysuit kind of a thing. So I think those 2 pieces, they go with mostly everything.
Got it. Okay, now next question, accessory must-haves.
I think a watch,
okay,
a pair of sunglasses, nice golden earrings if you're into golden like shade, or silver hoops, or like tiny ones, like something like I'm wearing, they look really nice. Drop ones are really trending these days, so probably that. And I think a nice bag, just to complete the
we can all use bags. That's good. Bhavdeep, thank you for these tips. These are really helpful. If you were to offer one piece of advice to anybody who wants to start a new business, especially in the fashion industry, what would that be?
So I think first you should sit and figure out what your style is and what your niche is going to be and what sector and segment you want to go, like what kind of clothes do you want to design. Once that is figured out, so I think start wherever you are and with whatever resources you have. Like, don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect idea or the perfect situation, just start it, and I think it'll all be sorted out, and you will eventually learn, being on the job. And
So who inspires you?
I have quite a few people on my list, but to mention like top 3, I would say one is Deepa Khosla. I think she is amazing in whatever she does. She has her own label also now. It's a skincare brand. It's called Indie Wild. And I love how she manages her work, family, business, everything. And she's a Wonder Woman for me. And the second one would be Masoom Meenawala. I think, we all look up to her.
Yeah, I think she has paved the path for most fashion influencers.
Definitely. And how she's not even in India right now, she's living abroad, but how she, brings her culture and she beautifully, explains the culture to all her vast audience out there. I think that is really amazing, staying connected to India and still reaching heights.
Yeah.
I think that is really beautiful that I find. And the third person would be my mom. I think she inspires and motivates me every single day. And I know it's very cliche, like everyone says that, but I honestly am where I am because of her.
Right.
And because of the immense and non-stop and constant support that she offers. That's how you roll.
And if we talk about social media, some of us want to start creating content or being relevant online. Do you have any tips for us?
Sure. Again, for this, you should decide what you want to offer to your audience. Like, for example, I remember when we sat down and you were like, I want to do this podcast thing. And we thought that, okay, for this, you need to be on YouTube and not on Instagram because, Instagram doesn't allow you to...
Like, what is your right platform first of all?
So decide what you want to do and then decide the right platform for yourself. There are so many social media platforms out there. Once that is decided, just start creating content around that and connect and engage with your audience. See if you are relevant to them or not. See if they are liking what you are offering. And if not, take feedback. Take feedback from your audience. And I think just be your true, authentic self. Because, there are, like you said, there are so many content creators out there, but there's only one of you.
Right.
So just be yourself. And that is what people want to see the most. And that is what people want you to offer to them.
I think bringing your own unique self forward.
In whatever sector you pick. Yeah.
No, that's really helpful. Thank you, Bhavdeep. Well, this was wonderful. I had a lot of fun talking to Bhavdeep, who's also my sister. This was something that we wanted to do since a very long time, but we just got this opportunity to do it. And I hope you guys find some value in this episode. Thank you, Bhavdeep, for making the time, showing up here at my studio. And we all had so much fun today.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I was so excited and nervous for this, but I think...
Why be nervous? You're going to talk to me.
But my parents are going to judge, so,
Watch it.
Yeah, but I'm really happy you invited me and I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.